Welcome to the Pretty Confident Podcast, where we embrace authenticity, own our worth, and build unshakable confidence. I'm your host, Sierra Renee, so let's dive in. What's up, you guys, and welcome back to another episode on the Pretty Confident Podcast. I just want to take some time to say thank you if you are taking the time out of your day, out of your week, out of your month to sit here and watch or even just listen to this podcast. Thank you so much. You know, I do not advertise this podcast at all whatsoever. And so I'm going to go back to advertising as soon as I'm able to get all of this together back behind me. I will be advertising my butt off. But until then, you guys, it is just me. And it's just you, okay? Thank you so much for being here. And if you found me out of a crack in the wall, I don't know how you found me, but thank you. Drop in the comment section how you came across this platform, okay? Because I know there's a lot of people that did not know me before and has not been here since the beginning that is tuning into my platform. So I just want to know where you guys are coming from and just say thank you for being here. Now, if you are a returning listener or an OG, thank you so much for sticking and rocking with your girl. Y'all know that this year my word is consistency, not even just in, just for the platform, but in life itself. And so what that means to me is creating routines that will keep me consistent and keep me abiding by the lifestyle that I want to live, okay? Because if we have words, if we have all of these aspirations that we want to live up to, but we are not actively doing the work to achieve them or setting forth plans and thinking about what we can do in our daily lives and our daily routines to put forth the effort to make sure we are accomplishing these goals or staying true to our word, then you don't mean what you say. You do not mean what you say if you are not doing everything in your power, okay, to reach and accomplish the goals that you set for yourself. You set them for yourself. Why are you not doing everything in your power to achieve and reach the heights of levels that you set for yourself? Okay, there's a problem there. There's a disconnect there. Okay, but anyway, how are you all doing? I just hope that this month has been going well for you all. I think by the time this episode drops, it would be the first episode in March, actually. Well, let me not even say that, because last time I said, oh, is this the last episode in January? It ended up being the last episode in January. But in that episode, I was like, no, this is the first episode of da-da-da. So I was all over the place. So I'm starting to record in advance and record multiple videos in advance so that way I can be consistent. So let me not even try to keep up with the time. But anyway, by the time this episode drops, it will be March. Okay. I know it will be March. So I just hope that whether it's the beginning of March, mid-March, I hope that your day, your week, your month is going good so far. And if it's not, what can you do that is within your control, within your power to change the trajectory of how your month is going, of how your day is going, of how your week is going? Because there is always something that we can do to change our circumstances, okay? Not everything is anybody else's fault. Not everything is always on somebody else. There is something within your power that you can do to shape your future and your current situation, okay? Amen. Amen. But how are you guys doing though, for real? I feel good today. Like, honestly, I've recorded 3 TikTok videos. Hopefully I can get 2 podcast episodes down. And yeah, I am just trying to hustle and bustle because I know the time is getting closer to when I will be giving birth and I will not be recording episodes. So I want to continuously record almost every week, at least 1 to 2 to 3 episodes if possible, if my energy and my job allows it, because depending on how my job goes, I may or may not have any energy to do this and keep my energy and spirits up and look this lively, okay, for you. I am actually going to turn on my fan, so I'm sorry if you hear like a little okay. I'm sorry if you hear that, but your girl is hot and your girl don't have a ceiling fan in here yet. But anyway, as I'm talking, I just want to say it is 3:34 at the time that I am recording this, and I just didn't know that today was Sunday. I thought today was Saturday, y'all. Ooh, I need a day off. I need a Monday off. The grown people know Monday is a better off day than Friday, okay? The weekends go by so fast. But anyway, the week like as of when I'm recording this, I will be 30 weeks. I will be 30 weeks when Tuesday hits. I always tell people, like, yes, I chase Friday every week because yes, it's the weekend, but I honestly cannot wait until the Tuesdays come around because that is a start of a new week for me in my pregnancy. And I just get so excited and so happy and just all of the things. I feel all of the feels. Like I honestly just chase Tuesdays. So yeah, but as of the time that I'm recording, it's like I said, it's 3:34, it's 3:35 now. The time just changed, but I recorded and did this makeup at like, I want to say 11 o'clock, because by the time I was done, I think I got done fully with this makeup look at like 11 o'clock this morning. So you're telling me almost 6 hours later, we are still matte. There are no oils coming through. Like, oh my goodness, like everything still looks flawless. Nothing is breaking apart. I love this for me. I love it. And I think this is the best makeup look that I've done in a while, that I don't have to like put on glasses to like cover up some mistakes. But anyway, like I've drunk like a lot of drink. Like I drank a lot of water today. I've had 2 meals. And then I'm hoping I can keep this on for date night because my man splurged on me. So if you don't watch my TikToks, you definitely need to go check out my TikToks because I did a little haul. But he splurged on me today and now he's going to take me out for dinner. I'm just like, ooh, I love this. I love this. Maybe I'm going to try to take a nap. Like, how do y'all take a nap with makeup on? Like, I'm looking at myself in the mirror. I'm just like, ooh, yes. Like, this look needs to stay exactly like this. Like, if I need to touch up some areas because like some oils are starting to come through, like I feel like there may start to come through. Like, I don't even have any smile lines, and I laugh at my man 24/7. I don't have any smile lines. Like, that's amazing. But I think this is the best makeup look I've done since I came back to doing makeup after finding out I was pregnant. Like, what in the world? But anyway, I am in love with the look, and I've gotten so many compliments today, and I just love when girls compliment me. And I always feel bad like if I don't compliment them like right back. So y'all tell me how y'all feel about this. If you compliment a female and she compliments you right back, do you feel like she's lying, or, you know, that's nice? Like, oh my gosh, she saw, you know, something that, like, how do y'all feel about that? Because I've had 2 workers, like, in some of the places that I went in today, like, they told me, oh my gosh, like, either the first girl, she told me my whole makeup looked good, and I was like, oh my gosh, thank you. And I wanted to say her too, but I was like, is she gonna think I'm lying and saying that, you know, I only like her makeup because she likes mine? Like, I don't know, like, I start to like overthink that. And I want to be really intentional. Like, she didn't have anything like outgoing about her makeup that I just love. So that's why I didn't want to say anything, because I was like, if I say it, like, I don't want it to seem like I'm lying, because honestly, I don't have a favorite. I don't know. And then the next lady, she was like, oh my gosh, I just love your blush placement. And oh my God. It's like, thank you. But she didn't have any makeup done, I don't think. You know, I just gave her a little face like, oh my gosh, thank you. So yeah, I don't know. But anyway, do y'all feel like if you compliment somebody first and then they compliment you with the same thing that you're complimenting them about, do you feel like that person is lying? Or do you feel like that's the polite thing to do? I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comments, okay? But anyway, let's go ahead and jump into this episode. Okay, you guys. So I thought about this topic, okay, when I was in the shower. And you guys know, my OGs, they know that most of my topics for the podcast come when I'm like doing something else and just, you know, clearing my mind, like mindlessly doing stuff. And so this topic came up in my mind, and I was like, you know what? I used to be this way. I used to argue down and stress myself out about it. But trying to over communicate your point, trying to be understood. I think all of us, I don't think there's one person in this world that doesn't want to be understood. So I completely understand everybody wanting to be understood in the way that they think, in the way that they make choices. But I feel like to a certain extent, don't try to over communicate your point to people that are out here to purposefully misinterpret and not understand you. There's a lot of people out here that they understand what you're saying, but they're going to continue to combat what you're saying so that you even don't even feel comfortable in what you're saying, or you get so upset that you're just like, oh, forget it, yada yada yada. But honestly, I feel like it takes so much energy to try to be understood when you are being faced with somebody who truly does not care about understanding you. There are some people in here that it does not take more than a second for them to understand what you are saying. And then there are other people out here that will argue you down to make you say, okay, maybe I am wrong. Okay, maybe I am thinking about this incorrectly, when maybe you are not. Like me and my husband, we have disagreements all, like, in every relationship. There is going to be a disagreement about something. Okay, we have disagreements all the time when it comes to like certain things, nothing big that's like, oh, that's just so morally incorrect, you have to, nothing like that. But we could be talking about a situation, or a situation can be brought up to us or displayed on a TV or whatever, we're watching a movie, and we will have difference in opinions. And so most of the time, like, we're literally not arguing. We go back and forth, and it's just like us trying to communicate what we are feeling and how we are thinking in a certain way. And yes, you can keep your opinion about something, but try to see it from somebody else's point of view if you want to. I feel like that not only helps you, but that helps you guys grow together, because you're not trying to dismiss what I'm saying, or try to dismiss my opinion, or dismiss my thought process and my, how I'm thinking about it and analyzing it. But you're also like, you're not trying to dismiss any of that. You're also standing clear and firm and confident in your opinion, but understanding where I'm coming from as well. And I feel like that's why our relationship works so well, because neither one of us is trying to be right in every situation. Like, we'll communicate, and most of the time I do end up right. Okay, like, I won't say that it doesn't feel good to be right, but if I am wrong, I will tell him straight up. I feel like some people will be in their relationship and they're always right, and then it gets to a point where they know they're wrong, their partner knows they're wrong, but the partner just doesn't want to argue with the person, and they just say that they're right. And because this person is so adamant and always being right in the relationship, they won't admit when they're wrong. No, I can admit when I'm wrong. Okay, I can admit when my husband is right, when his opinion or his viewpoint is more thought out and thorough than mine. I feel like once you're in a competition in your relationship, that is when the relationship fails, because we should not be in competition with each other. Yes, we should push each other to new heights, but be in competition with each other, never. It's always going to be me and you on the same team against anybody and anything else in this world. So I think that's why our relationship works so well, because we know how to effectively communicate without getting all hot and bothered. Because once we are talking in circles about something, I just tell him, you know what? Opinions can disagree. And so I feel like that stops a lot of the headache of, oh my gosh, well, no, you need to think like this and you need to do this. Neither one of us tell each other we need to do anything. Okay. We just, well, why do you think that way? What makes that way? And then we continuously ask each other questions, or we allow the other person to keep on going and find other ways to, like, in different way. Like, we try to figure out like different scenarios that may fit the same parameters of the situation to still kind of like get our, thought across, and see like if a different situation, us explaining it this way instead of this particular situation that was presented, if that helps us understand the other person's logic better. And most of the time it does. And then other times it's like, well, no, now that I explained it that way, it doesn't even, it doesn't even make sense, or my opinion or my logic doesn't even hold up, in that sense either, or it doesn't hold up at all in that sense. So I may be thinking incorrectly, or my logic may not stand here. Okay, so I feel like that will work in almost any of your relationships, whether it's family, platonic, romantic. If you just think that, okay, not only my opinion, yes, matters, but it's not only my opinion. The other person's opinion matters as well. But to a certain point, where are we going in this conversation? Am I trying to argue you down to be right, or am I trying to argue you down so you can understand my logic and the way that my mind is working? Because we're all different people, our minds work differently. And I'm not saying argue as a bad thing. Like, there's always going to be some back and forth that's not bad. Okay, don't always say that, well, I mean, I guess people find different words for, like,
I don't know, debate, whatever, disagreement, like arguments are arguments, and arguments don't always end up yelling and screaming. We could just have a difference in opinions and we're trying to get that across. So we're going back and forth, a little disagreements, a little argument, a little here and there. But I just feel like it's not always negative. But yeah, so I just feel like if you do not get into a relationship or you do not have platonic friendships that the other person is willing and wanting, okay, to understand you for who you are in the way that your mind thinks and giving you that time and space to analyze and articulate where your mind is, you're going to forever be arguing people down about trying to be understood. And then when you come across people that truly do not want to understand you or even take the time out of their day to even hear what you are saying to them, you are going to feel left drained. I never feel drained when I'm talking to my partner about, difference in opinions. I'm always like, well, why do you think that way? Well, don't you think this? Or by the way that you're saying this, you're also saying, X or Y, or this is what it's correlating to. But I don't think either one of us has ever come across like a topic that meant so much that it was just like, no, I'm just not trying to hear what you're saying. I'm not, no. So that's where I feel like, maybe you need to figure out what type of relationship you have with, your friend or your partner or your family when it comes to trying to explain your logic. I feel like in families, when it comes to older generations, that always think when you're trying to explain yourself, it's disrespect. No, it's not disrespect. You just don't want to hear my logic as to why I did something that honestly makes sense at my mind, like at my age for my mind. And you just want to be correct in everything. I will make sure that my daughter knows when it comes to her making certain decisions that was not guided by me or her father, I am going to ask her, what made you do this? What type of process in your mind? What process did your mind go through for you to make this decision? And I want to understand her, because at the end of the day, when parents just yell and scream at their kids and don't take the time to understand why they may have done or not done something, taken action or not taken action about something, it's probably because they didn't know. It's probably because they've never been shown this situation. They never, their mind didn't know how to react in the situation. So they just defaulted to whatever somebody else was doing or whatever they saw before. But when you don't take the time to understand why their mind did that, you're losing out on a teaching lesson. When you scream, the child doesn't even know what they did wrong or what would have been the right choice in that situation when all they're hearing is yelling because you didn't do something the best way. We have been on this earth longer than our kids. Our parents have been on this earth longer than we have. So the information and knowledge that they have at their age may not have been something that we had at our age when going through a certain situation. So I just feel like my daughter growing up, however many kids I have, I'm going to want to understand where their mind is, because that is the best way to understand who they are in that season and who they are becoming as a person. Because you give them not only the chance to articulate themselves, but be vulnerable with you and give them a safe space to communicate with you. I feel like with just all the yelling and stuff, that's not creating a safe space for somebody to come and talk to you about something that's really important. And so then all this other like little stuff that parents be yelling at kids for, when it comes to the big things in life, the big things that kids need to go to their parents for, they're not doing that because they're going to people that's around the same age as them. Oh, my parents just don't understand me. Yeah, because you're just yelling at them. But if we actively try to understand who our children are and how they think, that will change their perception of us as parents and give them the confidence to walk through the door that we should have open for them, not close and bring them in, drag them in here whenever we need to talk to them about something real, but give them the motivation and courage to come talk to us when something isn't sitting right with them, or come talk to us when they need advice about something that they have no idea how to move with. Like, come on now. So I was just, I don't know. Like I said, it's not just about romantic relationships. It's about family, and it's about mother daughter, mother son, father daughter, father son, parents, children, whatever the case may be, friendships. Like, it's just, there are going to be people out here that are determined to misunderstand you, and then there are going to be times and places where you need to take the time to make sure the other person feels like they have the floor to be understood, the opportunity to be understood. And you need to know when to identify the people that are out here to misunderstand you, when they are just actively not trying to follow your tracks, follow your logic, and just stick to what they know and who they are as a person, and not try to understand you and your logic and why you think a certain way. Cut them off, because all they gonna do is bring you headaches. Anytime you bring up something, oh no, it's too controversial, I don't want to talk about it with this person because they're not gonna understand me. If they're not gonna understand you, what's the point of having them around you? I want people around me that's going to understand me, because the best way to love me is to understand me. Ooh, the best way to love me is to understand me. That's gonna be the topic. I mean, that's gonna be the title of this episode. The best way to love me is to understand me. Because how can you understand somebody that you don't love? Or how can you love somebody that you don't understand? We have no moral I can't even talk anymore. I came up with such a banger line. Okay, we have no compatibility when it comes to morals. We have no compatibility when it comes to trying to actively communicate and have dialect between the two of us. I'm not raising my voice, and I'm not upset in this space, in this conversation, but you are so upset and so hot and bothered about the topic that we are talking about, or about the fact that I'm not a yes person and just telling you, yes, what you're saying is right, yes, what you say is, rule. No. To love me and to love somebody else is to understand them. So if you are not actively trying to understand me, and you just bypass whatever I say and whatever I want to do and whatever, I think, you are somebody out here that is here to misunderstand me and continuously put me in a mindset, well, okay, am I thinking about this too deep? Okay, am I thinking about this illogically? Like, what? Get around people that want to understand you, and that it doesn't take them it doesn't change night and day. It doesn't take them night and day to try to understand you. Because at the end of the day, I can sit here and tell my husband, yes, I understand where you're coming from, but my logic is still my logic, and I still stand by what I say. So yes, opinions in this matter will differ, because I understand that our brains are different. We are opposite sex. We are going to have difference in opinion when it comes down to certain things, because it's simply man and woman. We are two different sex. We are opposite sex. We come from different backgrounds. Everything plays into the logic and what is it? Is it theology? I don't even know. But the methodology that we hold in our brains, it's all based on how we came up and who we have around us as well. Because you could have some stupid people around you, and you start adapting their logic because you are around them too much. Birds of a feather definitely flock together. So the more you're around people that do nothing, that speak nonsense, is the more that you're going to pick up on their bad habits. The more you're going to pick up on some of the stuff that they say and start to incorporate that into your own lives. But I'd rather be around people that have a mind and some wit about them, so that I can, pick up on some wisdom here and there in some areas that I may not have wisdom in. Okay, so yeah, to love me is to understand me. To understand me is to love me. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna leave y'all right there with that, and hopefully I can do a few more episodes today, because I do not want this look to go to waste. Like, I try to come to y'all put together, because I was like, I'm just finna do this in my bonnet. I'm just finna do this, glasses, tissue up my nose, all of it. No, come on here like you got some sense, okay? But anyway, I love you guys. Drop in the comment section what you all think about this episode. Do you think there are some people in your life? Do you think that you are in a relationship with somebody that is there to misunderstand you and continuously give you mind blockage? Because I really do feel like Once you're around people enough that misunderstand you, you will literally start questioning yourself and your thoughts. And that is what I don't want you to get to, okay? Have the confidence to stand up strong in your beliefs and your values and your opinions and the way that you want to express yourself. Do so. Stand confident and stand strong in it, because the ones that are not confident are the ones that are going to waver and the ones that are going to start second guessing themselves when it comes down to the simplest of things in their life. Okay. And I don't want that to be you. All right. I have never been somebody like that. I feel like there has been a couple times where, I was in a sticky situation where I was like, okay, this person is just like, am I going crazy for standing so firm on this? But that is literally what small-minded people that are trying to belittle you and your statement are going to do. Make you feel how they feel. Okay? So yeah, to be loved is to be understood. All right, sisters and brothers, I love you guys, and I will see you in the next episode.
Thank you for tuning in to the Pretty Confident Podcast. Remember, confidence isn't about perfection. It's about embracing who you truly are. So until next time, stay bold, stay authentic, and stay pretty confident. Peace out.